Welcome back, everyone, to Talking It Out with Bachelor Nation. And today we have a very special guest, the one, the only, Kaitlyn Bristowe, host of The Bachelorette, is on the show today. Mike, are you excited?
I'm excited. Kaitlyn is one of the, she's like Kanye West to me in the sense of she will always captivate you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
And also like Kanye, she gonna back it up. So I cannot wait to talk to Kaitlyn, see how her thoughts are on this season, see what she has going on in her life, and just get right into everything that's Kaitlyn.
Hell yeah, I totally agree. And but first, you know how we do, bro. We got to do our hot takes.
Let's do it.
So let's get into that. So it was funny because you and I were talking about this the other day. We have a group chat, if y'all don't know, between Mike and I and maybe a producer or two. But we basically just throw around ideas. And Mike, you just actually came to the forum with a question. And your question was, what is more feminine for a heterosexual male? For them to get their eyebrows done or to get their toes done? So pedicure or eyebrow, like complete waxing, the whole nine, like the whole works. Like you go to a specific store or location to get your eyebrows done.
Whoa,
Mike, what is your stance on that?
I didn't even say the toes. I was talking about the fingernails.
So it's even less. I thought you were talking about the toes. Whole. Yeah, mani pedi.
Never have I ever gotten a mani pedi.
Have you ever gotten a mani?
That's the hands.
Yes.
You can look at my hands, like you need a mani. I probably need one, but I've never had one. I have had a foot massage. Foot massage feel great.
But no toe action.
No toe action. This is not 40-year-old version. This is not Riley. Yeah, no Riley, Marissa. Don't kiss the toes. Let the toes be the toes, right?
I feel like I'd like to get a poll up because, I mean, for me, my stance is I think, now this is just me, I'd like to throw out a poll to all the women in the audience. Like, what would you think is too much? Is a guy getting a pedicure too much, or would a guy getting a eyebrow wax be too much? I personally think, and from what I've experienced before, is eyebrows just too much. Like if your eyebrows are looking better than your girls, okay. I think she's gonna have a problem with that. But there's been instances where, hey, I may not have clipped my toenails or not kept them all the way right.
No, you gotta clip them things, bro.
Correct. You got to take care of them.
You don't want
more so than your eyebrows. More so than your eyebrows.
I mean, well, if you don't clip your toenails, you don't want your girl waking up in the morning. You Michael Myers her. You can't have none of that. It's Halloween around here.
Correct. So, yeah, we don't want any stabbings in the middle of the night.
Yeah, she can't be cut up. So cut your toes, right? But I think a part of this question, I think that if you were to do a poll, I think it'll be 50-50 split because of our audience is all over America, right? Now, I'm from the South, right? I went to the military in Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm from Texas. I spent a lot of time in just Georgia, just the South in general. Most people I know from the South, they're not doing that. They just not. They're not doing either one of them, right? Not doing the eyebrows. I know you're from Miami, right? Y'all be looking good or whatever.
Listen, there's a lot of open-toed sandals. You know what I'm saying? Like you whatever you got going on down there. Now listen, I don't get them on a regular basis. Like once in a blue, Rachel, we'll make a little date thing. We'll go get manicures and pedicures. They give you a massage at those places, right? So I'm like, all right, why not? You know what I'm saying?
But it's not like without the massage. Don't lie.
I swear to you, I've never gone actually without Rachel. I've never gone without Rachel. So me going in, but I've definitely never gone to a location with or without Rachel to wax my eyebrows. That's I don't know.
So we're talking about waxing because I think like maybe I get a haircut every single week, right? But probably every 6 to 8 weeks, I'll tell my barber to like clean them up. So he'll take the clippers and he'll clean up my eyebrows.
Yeah, a little trim on the top and around, that's okay. But saw a homeboy from the show, I think his name was Chris S. Correct me if I'm wrong, but dude was like all laid up in the chair, face up, and they were like working on his eyebrows. I don't know if he was doing like the threading or whatever the case was, but he was going in.
I'm calling now, right now. His name's Chris J, right?
Chris S.
Chris S, my apologies, Chris. Chris, I'm calling it right now. On your Instagram, in the coming months, He's going to be an influencer for eyebrows. Watch. I'm calling it. But
Eyebrow threading.
He's going to be eyebrow thread king, right? You said something about your girl can't be having worse eyebrows than you because she's going to get annoyed with you. Nate eyebrows were on point.
Yeah.
The dudes, they was like on point. I'm like, I think that was natural, but so if you're a dude, you got naturally on point eyebrows. I mean, oh well, your girl got to deal with it.
Is it me, or I kind of have a feeling that Nate kind of looked like a combination of
Joe,
like if Drake, Chris Brown, and Steph Curry had a baby.
Bruh.
Am I right?
Mind blown, bruh. He really do.
Good looking dude. He got the first impression rose. Good for him. I thought he showed out more than anything.
He is an identical of Drake, Steph Curry, and Chris Brown. You're right.
He had a resemblance to Chris Brown. Like I was like, I can't even pinpoint. I don't know if it was like the earrings, but
Nate and Joe look alike as well. They look like they could be brothers.
Nate and Joe, yeah. So Joe was the one from her hometown.
Yeah.
Right? The one that she apparently slid in the DMs.
Yeah, I see. That's why I like Michelle, bruh. She a real one.
Yeah,
she confronted that.
She confronted that real quick.
She's a real one for that, bro. Shouts out to Michelle. Hand clap. Because she's out here. She's a teacher, you know. She was like, hey, I like what I see. What's up? She shot her shot. Yeah. She could shoot. Obviously, she could shoot. Yeah. You see that, you know, from the Bachelorette.
The question is, do you buy his excuse? He had a lot going on. He ghosted her, and he was just all busy.
That's a BS excuse on me. But at the same time, what he gonna say? You know?
Yeah.
What is he really gonna say? Like, it was a BS excuse, but I mean, what can he say? Like,
yeah,
he was like, hey.
He gave the best excuse he could possibly give.
He did. I'll give him that. He did give the best response he could possibly give in that position. But we'll see how things unfold. I have him in my top 4. I want to ask Kaitlyn about that as well. So I want to get into everyone's top 4 also. But the person who knows all about this, let's try to get some tea from her, is the host of this season, along with Tayshia. Kaitlyn Bristowe. Let's bring her on.
Mike, Halloween is coming up.
Yes.
I'm sure you remember when you were younger, you used to trick or treat. Yes. But what's the one candy that you hated getting in your trick or treat basket or bag?
So I grew up in Texas. I hated all the candies that melted during the day, period. All the chocolate candies that just melted away, man.
Well, you know what else is scary, Mike? Paying too much for your home and auto insurance. But Policygenius can help you avoid that.
Policygenius makes it easy to compare home and auto insurance in one place. They can help you find coverage that's similar to what you already have, but at an even lower and better price.
They've saved customers an average of $1,250 per year over what they were paying for home and auto insurance.
That's true. And it's super easy to get started. First, head over to policygenius.com/talkingitout and answer a few questions about yourself and your property. And Policygenius takes it from there.
They'll compare rates from America's top insurers, from Progressive to Allstate, to find you lower quotes. And if they find a better rate than what you're paying now, they'll switch you over for free.
Head to policygenius.com/talkingitout to get started right now. Policygenius. When it comes to insurance, it's nice to get it right.
Hey, welcome to the show, KB. What's going on?
Am I allowed to say that about myself? Am I allowed to be like KB? Or is that silly?
You can call yourself whatever you want.
Kaitlyn, let's be honest. You can call yourself KB, but no matter what you say, you're going to get shitted on by somebody because for whatever reason, you get haters.
That's a good point, actually.
For whatever reason, you get haters. I don't know why. Why is that?
I think it's because I pay attention to it. So they're like, ooh, that's how I get her attention. So then I'm like, is this really my fault? Should I be just trolling myself for egging it on? I don't know.
Ding, ding, ding. But it gets me too sometimes. So I feel you. Sometimes you just want to clap back. So I get it.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to stand up for yourself. That don't make us bad people.
It makes us real people. It makes us human beings. So therefore they should like you more.
There you go.
When I was talking about you earlier when you were coming on, I was like, you're kind of, this is crazy to say. I was kind of like, you're like the Kanye West of Bachelor Nation in a sense. Like,
do explain.
I gotta explain.
Please
when you
explain.
say when you bring Kanye in this mix, you gotta explain who that. He has a lot of stuff with him. You garner attention no matter what you do, whether you want it or not. Like, if you just want to somebody for whatever reason, somebody got something to say about you. you're magnetized to that,
I mean, that's quite the comparison, but I'm like, he also like,
Let's say Kim Kardashian is
He's a little loony. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into Kanye.
We're not talking about Kanye's mental aspect whatsoever.
Okay,
Not
I get what you're
0%.
saying. I'm gonna just go ahead and take it as a compliment.
It's just who else, like when they step out, no matter what they do, somebody got something to say.
Yeah, I just feel like that comes with any sort of platform. It's especially like I feel like it kind of died down, and then now being on TV again, it's back up there.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I mean, we don't know. We're not on your level. You are the host of this season's Bachelorette, Michelle Young, and we want to know all the dirt. So you're in a whole nother stratosphere.
I mean, we saw on the first night that there was already some dirt that needed to come out. So that's crazy.
Yes.
It was crazy. I feel like, does that usually happen like right off the bat? Usually we discover the villains like throughout the season. This one was like
whose idea was that? That was brilliant. Like you guys just stormed into everybody's room and just started ransacking their stuff. Like that was amazing.
We had like one of those like blue lights that shows.
Oh no.
Yeah,
did you see a mess? Did you see some mess?
We saw some mess. We saw a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't want to see. And then there was certain guys like Chris, who is from Canada. So I'm going to chalk it up. He's just a really, down to earth, good guy. His room was spotless. His bed was made and he's stuck in a hotel room. Like his bed was made. And I was like, that's impressive. And then some of the other guys, like one room really smelled bad. We put up caution tape. Like it was a whole day. It was a whole day of busting into rooms.
Oh Lord. That's can't do no stink like that. Let's get right into it because Ryan, who's the one who had the strategy playbook.
Yeah.
Like that thing looked thick when Michelle went into his room. Like it was a lot. How much was that? Did he have like?
Yeah, can you like break down what you guys saw? Like I know we kind of dabbled in it on the show, but like break it down. What was the worst things you saw in there?
I wish I like took screenshots or pictures of it. I'm sure someone does somewhere because it was so fascinating. It was a thick playbook and it had, and I mean, I get if you're like, type A and you like things planned out and you like to see it in writing, or you are a manifester and you want to write things out. That's fine. And some of that was in there. Some stuff that was in there was okay. And then other stuff was extremely alarming. And he had people that he wanted to act like in past seasons. And Jason Tartick's name made the list.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Did they show that on the show?
Literally said Tartick.
Yeah.
So I was like, what about Jason Tartick? Is he studying?
Okay. Yeah. So he thought that was somebody he should act like, or that he should, be like on the show. I think Zach's name was on there too. And then he had like certain ways to not be a villain. So he had studied all the villains. And then I'm pretty sure he said he like wasn't a fan of the show, but he like knew who the villains were. He knew who to act like. He also said his type of woman, which was nothing like Michelle. And so many comments in his description of his dream woman was always like her, but with a bigger ass. Like it was just
yikes.
I don't know. It was a lot of yikes. Yeah.
So how does it feel that, your fiance Jason was on his list? Like from that aspect, right? Because you got the original, you got the OG Jason.
Jason's a role model. What can you say?
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's very flattering to him. I was excited to like, after we broke into his room, I called him immediately. I was like, okay, so there's this guy and you're on this list of people he wants to be like. And he was like, that's awesome. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's awesome.
It's not awesome. It's the opposite of awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So wait, explain to me this. Why did you guys wait for when you waited to reveal this information?
Well, okay. So Tasha and I went back and forth on this so many times because it's very hard to be in the position we're in because, okay, sure, we're the hosts of the show, but we're also her friend. We're also mentors. We've also been there and we want her to have her own experience where she figures things out for herself. And so we really went back and forth being like, should we tell her or should we like let her figure it out? And then we kind of came to the conclusion together that like, that's kind of why we're here. We're more eyes on, what's going on in the house. And we just saw that as like, that's a little too far. And we want her to figure things out for herself, of course. And there's probably so much we didn't know, but that information we saw with our own eyes. And again, we went back and forth so many times and then just decided like, we didn't want to ruin her night, but we wanted it to be brought to her attention.
Well, she handled it well. It didn't ruin her night because she came back. She was like, "Hey, had some BS. I threw out the trash. Let's get the cocktail party started."
And I love
And
how
that's
it
what
was,
I thought she would do. That's what I was hoping she would do because I know her, and I was like, I think she's gonna just handle it and move on.
yeah, I love how you guys did it too. You let the guy come in with his little ice cream truck, woo her, and basically you swept the rug right underneath him. I mean, he was acting all cocky, even the other guys were saying it like, "Oh, he's pretty confident." He was confident about his time, but
Yeah, I mean, I
had
knew,
a playbook, buddy.
and we watched the play-by-play of it happy, and I was like, and here comes the ice cream truck he was talking about. Now he's gonna say this because he had it all written out. And I mean, again,
Wow.
some things that's fine. It was just the majority of information he had written down in this red document. It was just, again, alarming.
So that makes me go to question, because he said it was his. He first off, he caught himself in a lie. Michelle caught him in a lie. He was like, "Well, my friend's wife wrote all this. I've never watched the show." And then the same sentence, he was like, "Well, I watched some of the show." It just was like, bro, at least he's getting what he wanted.
You're a super fan, all right?
He wanted
you're a
us to
super
talk-
fan, and you have a syllabus.
He wanted us
Yes.
to talk about him, so he does that. I like how you did that syllabus. Michelle, teacher. That was dope.
Yeah.
I see you, Brian. I see you.
You see me? I just
It's the
love
doctor
it.
in you. I see.
That was good. Yeah, I think he just tried to, he was probably having like an out of body experience where he's like, oh, I am the villain. Like I was trying to do all the things to avoid it, and I'm sitting here in this moment realizing that it's me. And so he was probably trying to panic, and it just didn't work for him.
And totally downplaying it, like, oh yeah, I don't really know what they could possibly find that could be that bad. Hello.
He really did downplay it.
He was freaking out when we left the room. He was like, "What? There's nothing in there." Like defensive. Well, there's nothing in
okay.
there, so I
See,
don't
we
get
didn't
to
see
go
all
ahead.
that. We didn't
Yeah.
see all that.
I
he
wish
was
they
like,
would have
"Yeah,
showed
go
that.
ahead." Yeah.
I feel like he's 100% going to be on Paradise, though.
You think so?
I think he's 100% going to be on Paradise.
Actually, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's.
I mean, do you get over that?
will he get a
reputation, though?
redemption? The thing is, the guys like that sometimes get a redemption on Paradise. Are we rooting for him or nah?
as of
Not
right
going
now,
in.
I mean, not going in. I mean, he showed his colors. Like he can still, change and be like, okay, I can say this and feel this way, but just don't bring it to the hotel room.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
Don't leave your
maybe leave the
playbook lying
document.
arok. That's like football 101. You know what I mean? Like, don't
Exactly.
leave your playbook.
Bill Belichick will
man.
find it. But outside of sports, Kaitlyn, how does it feel to, you're like officially a host? Like this is your second season hosting. How is that feeling?
Truly, it feels right. I don't know why. I just feel like I love hosting. I love hosting my podcast. I love hosting the show. I love being able to, like, if you asked me what I wanted to do when I was little, it was like dancing was number one, but number two was to be a host in some way. And
I know.
that too.
Dance with the Stars, got it.
Oh yeah, I did do that. But I used to always walk around with a Fisher Price like microphone and interview my family. But I always wanted my own radio show, and I realized that hosting is something that I actually really enjoy doing. So it feels like a complete honor to be able to do that at this level, obviously. But I totally feel like a rookie doing it. Like I'm not worthy. Like I don't know how I got here.
But I think you guys are doing great. And what I love about it, which is something that we haven't seen in the past, is the little quibs, the little zingers, the little play-by-play that you girls give behind the scenes. I love it. I think it's comedic relief right there.
That's my favorite part of the night. I just, being able to sit front row to watch the limo entrances in all of their glory with popcorn and like a tequila or champagne, it's magical.
What was your favorite limo entrance?
Whew. Okay.
Let's
My
get top
favorite
three.
one?
Give like a couple.
Yeah.
I feel like there was so many like moments. Okay, so one of my favorite ones was Chris, again, the guy who made his
The
bed.
salad?
No, but that's
Okay.
in my top three. That's in my top three.
He's the motivational speaker, correct? For
Ri-
Canada. I
Oh,
believe.
Chris.
That's him, right? He's from
He's
No.
Canada.
he does speak well.
Chris is yes, he's so well spoken, but he came out and they didn't show all of it, but he had like the best. He does slam poetry, and the things that he said were like, I had goosebumps the whole time. They only showed a little glimpse of it. So my top like few favorites might be different from what people saw, but also Rick, the salad, the entree, and how he delivered that was genius.
It was
I thought
perfect.
that it was really cute. And he's cute, so it like worked. And
I think
then
he friend zoned himself though, kind of.
oh, you do why?
Just from the beginning, I was like, bruh, it was cute, but homie, you friend zoned yourself. That's what I felt like.
Dinner table Rick. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious in the ITMs. I mean, in the moment
It was.
interviews,
It
when it
was.
was just a table with his head sticking out, I couldn't stop laughing.
It's gonna be perfect for some woman. Just I feel like for Michelle, he friend zoned himself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess-
Michelle was like, I think she probably liked the guy because have you seen her play basketball, by the way?
I saw her on the show.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
the
on the
clips that
show, yeah.
they were showing. I mean, she was draining all her shots.
She's incredible. So I was like expecting a lot of guys to come out and make balls jokes and like have basketballs, but I think there's only one.
Oh, you mentioned the guy was a little ballsy for coming in. The way he
Yeah,
did, right?
with his pants off.
Would you say, Kaitlyn, that he has a leg up on the competition?
He has 2 legs up on the competition.
Corny joke.
I mean, the corny jokes works. What's his name? Nate has a good dad joke. You know, the corny jokes work sometimes. I like a good dad joke.
I love a good dad joke, and Nate was very smooth with it.
Yes, he was. He was.
Mhm.
Bryan says something perfect for Nate. Okay, so remember Nate, right? Does he not? Matter of fact, Bryan, this is your credit. Go ahead, break
What?
it to her.
I thought, no offense to Nate, but
Yeah.
I looked at him, I was like, he looks like a combination of if Chris Brown, Drake, and Steph Curry had a baby.
Yeah.
You see
Okay.
that? Kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't see the Steph
She said-
Curry in
she looked
there.
up. Yeah. Okay.
No Steph Curry?
I don't see the Steph Curry in there.
I see more Steph than Drake. Honestly, he's,
The most I see is Chris Brown.
Yeah,
Like with the
I mean,
earrings.
It's the earrings, and I mean, that guy is 6'6". If he delivered a dad joke to me, I would be like, oh, you're so tall.
Whatever you
Like,
say.
He's just tall and handsome.
represent for my Austin guys out here. Let's go Texas. Let's go Austin. Let's go.
Again, but he's Canadian.
Wait, lives in
6'8".
Texas.
Wait, he's 6'8", ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Oh yeah, 6'8" Nate. Duh, I knew that. 6'8". I'm literally up to his belly button. It's
Is he-
wild.
Is he the tallest person in Bachelor Nation?
He might be. Yeah, he is for sure.
And they just look
6'8".
good together because she's tall and slender, and like he's tall. I don't know. They just look cute
they're
together
both
right off the
models.
bat.
Yeah.
Yo, 6'8", boy. Because Thomas was over here like, yeah, I'm 6'8". Yeah, hey, Thomas, you small.
Hey, Nate's got 2
I would
inches
love
on you,
to
bruh.
see Nate- Yeah, I would love to see Nate and Thomas talk about their height for like 2 minutes, and then I'm done.
That's crazy. I know he was that tall. Okay, so when I saw Clayton walk out, I knew immediately. I was like, I see why this guy's the Bachelor. 1,000,000%. All I could see was this guy's the Bachelor. Even if I didn't know, I would have said that.
He's a very strapping man, and
He's a strapping man. I like the way you put that. He's a
Strapping
strapping man.
man.
Strapping. I want that compliment one day. You're a strapping man.
You're a strapping man. I will give you that. But I feel like he's also like a teddy bear. Like when you talk to him, he's so gentle and so kind and so vulnerable and like really, I don't know. He just seems like a great guy.
I think he's from the Midwest, and
Yes, he
it was a situation where I was like, okay, is he like a goody two shoes? But then he comes in with the limo entrance and gets spanked with the ruler. So I was like, okay, he has a little edge,
Right.
a little personality to him. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll give it personality. I don't know about edge. I'll give him personality. I don't know about edge. I'll give him
A
personality.
little slight edge. It was
Personality.
better than what I was expecting. I thought it was
Yes.
just going to be very bland and boring, but I
Yeah,
thought
no, he
stepped
really
up.
spiced it up with the spanking. Because I was like, oh, he's gonna measure his. Can I say that? Sorry, I thought he was gonna do that.
Just
with
did.
and then I would maybe just bleep out that word. But then he did the spanking thing, and I was like, oh, Clayton,
He said, "Oh, I like it. Strapping."
yeah, you dirty dog.
So, what was your worst limo entrance?
Okay, I truly I didn't like the no pants thing. I was like,
Neither did I. It's not. It's like, bro, you trying to get married?
he's clearly just likes his leg muscles, so he was just trying to show his leg muscle, and I was like, eh.
Okay, I can't
Like,
believe
not the time or the place.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. This is the first time I've ever said this in my entire life. He didn't have the best leg muscles. I've seen men with better leg muscles.
Mike out here judging leg muscles on dudes.
Look,
Come on, Mike.
Kaitlyn brought it up. Like it wasn't even something I thought about like at the time, but she brought it up. I'm like, yeah, the underwear dude. Like, bro, come on now.
It's really hard for me to say nice things too about some of the ones I just don't like.
That's fair. See,
Oh, too much.
Tell us something. What should we be looking for?
I mean, there's a few, I like to say bad apples because it goes with the teacher theme, but there's a few bad apples in the group, as there always is. And we got rid of one the first night, but that doesn't mean there's not anymore.
He must be so disappointed. He thought he had everything figured out, huh?
Oh, I mean, that playbook didn't end on night one.
I'm telling y'all, Ryan is not disappointed. He feels like he's going to paradise. He's going to show out. Watch. I'm telling you.
I think he's going to be really worried about what people think of him after.
He literally has
We're gonna
just
forget
given
about-
himself
he's-
the reputation of
People are going to forget about him.
not
Yeah,
there for the right reasons.
That's true. He'll be old news next week.
Yeah, that's the positive thing. So for all the people listening that are new contestants on the show, even if I know that you guys are all beautiful human beings, you're going to be forgotten about, and I say that positively because somebody else is going to be the bad person the following week. So
Yeah.
take that with a grain of salt.
So, Kaitlyn, I want to know your thoughts on Joe. Now, Joe, good-looking guy, comes on. He's from her hometown, right? And apparently, she slid in his DMs, and he ended up ghosting her. What are your thoughts on that whole scenario?
Yeah, I didn't like that at first because we were again watching from behind the little bushes, and we were hearing from like what she said, and she was like, "You ghosted me," and we were like, "Did she just say he ghosted her?" So right off the bat, we were like, I don't like this guy because now why is he here now that she's the Bachelorette? Now he's like, oh, just kidding. I actually am interested. But I will say, you always have to give people the benefit of the doubt. You can't just be quick to judge and say like, you ghosted, so you must be an asshole. So I think he was going through some stuff in his life and he wasn't in a place to respond back to some DMs.
So you bought that. You bought his excuse.
I did buy it. I did.
Okay. Fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Kaitlyn,
I'm also very gullible, so who knows?
Mike just said straight up, that's bullshit.
It's bullshit, but at the same time, like, what can you say? He's like, hey, I'm here. I obviously do like you. I want to get to know you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him for it. It just was, he got put on Front Street, which,
Buying what he's selling.
I don't think that's wrong with it. It is what it is. He got put on Front Street. He could have. I just love with that whole situation. I love that Michelle was like, I slid in your DMs. Like, to me, when you see someone in charge and like commanding that's just so cool to me. It's just Michelle's so pure.
That's something you're gonna see throughout the season. I think is she just owns exactly who she is, how she's feeling, and I do think it took her a little while to open up like about the feelings stuff because she is, she just deals with stuff. If something upsets her, she's going to deal with it and move on. And you just see her deal with a lot this season, but with so much grace.
Yeah. And I believe like having a bachelorette that steps up like that and just is no nonsense and just takes care of her business, that helps separate the men from the boys, right?
Absolutely.
Because like all those guys that aren't there for the right reasons, like eventually it's going to come out. She just needs to stay true to herself and just, enjoy the journey, and she'll get rid of those clowns once it happens, but we'll see.
Exactly.
I think Michelle's going to do a fantastic job. I really do. She can stand her ground. She can call herself out, call everyone else out, and she's there for the right reasons.
Yeah, and she's fun. Like
she really is.
She's really fun and flirty, and she can like hang. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's giving her some crap or something, she'll give it right back and won't take it personally. And she was really enjoyable it was enjoyable to watch her own being the Bachelorette and go through the motions and do everything that she was supposed to do and stay true to herself. It was really cool to watch.
I love that because Mike, I mean, you could attest to this. We like women to challenge us. We like, we don't want pushovers, right? So I love that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this question. If there was one person from Michelle's season who you feel should have been on Katie's season, and one person from Katie's season who you feel should have been on Michelle's season.
Oh man, I need like a cheat sheet
She
of all
needs
these
the pics of all the guys.
Somebody that should have been on Katie's season. Okay, I'm gonna go. Why do I keep talking about Canadian Chris like he's the only one on this season?
I'm gonna represent my Texas boys, so I get it. Represent your Canadian boys.
I think also I feel like he told me he had a cat, and Katie loves cats, and she clearly likes Canadians. So I feel like that would have been a good one for her. And then somebody from Michelle's season who should have been on Katie's. Wait, did I already? No, that's what I just did.
Yes.
Someone from Katie's that should have been on Michelle's. Ooh.
I want our audience to chime in on this one too. Let us know your thoughts as well.
Okay, yeah. Wait, Thomas is a good one, actually. I mean, if Thomas was single, this is all
hypothetical. It's hypothetical.
Yes. You know, they know me. No disrespect.
No offense to any relationships that are currently ongoing.
Yes.
So, Kaitlyn, we actually were discussing this in Hot Takes. There was a gentleman, I believe his name was Chris S., who actually had in his package, his film package or whatever, to basically let us know who he was. He was waxing his eyebrows. He was like laid out, waxing his eyebrows, and I guess he mentioned something about like real men do their eyebrows or whatnot.
Okay.
Me and Mike were having this discussion. Me and Mike were having this discussion. Which would you be more okay with? A man getting a pedicure or a man going to get his eyebrows done?
All of the above.
There you go.
Okay, for example, my dad, it was his 70th birthday the other day, and
Happy belated birthday, Dad.
he is the best human on the planet. And I was like, what are you doing on your 70th? And he was like, I'm getting a pedicure. And I was like, good for you. Like he likes getting his feet rubbed. So why wouldn't he go get a pedicure?
See, Mike, the feet rub, the foot rub. That's why you go, right?
I said I had a foot massage. It was the best. I paid the lady more than double what it cost, like for a tip. It was so I get that.
A hand massage with a manicure. And you know what? Some guys need to control their eyebrows. And I can't hate on the eyebrow game because I'm pretty sure Jason tweezes his brows.
Just call your man out like that. Come on now. Just call him out.
But like self-tweezing, I feel like is okay, right? Mike was talking about the barber, like kind of edging you up a little bit, but I'm talking about like we're going to get like the whatever you ladies do, like needle threading and all that stuff, like going that extra mile for eyebrows. I'm like, nah, that's a little too much.
Brows, but you know what? To each their own, I guess. Whatever floats your boat, whatever.
I like that.
So Bryan, today I was getting my hair braided. I'm sitting there for like 2 hours or whatever. And I just get tired of checking my email. So I was like, let me see what's on the store, download a game. I found this game called Switchcraft. It's pretty good, man.
No way. I actually downloaded Switchcraft as well. It's a very fun game. And it's a brand new take on Match 3 games. It's a blend of TV-worthy writing, choose your own adventure style narrative, and thousands of Match 3 levels.
One thing I really like about this game is that the characters in it are extremely diverse. They even have differently abled and LGBTQ plus characters. You don't see a lot of that in games.
I like that too. Plus, there are so many levels of play and new things to see. Every time I check it out, I see something new that I never noticed before.
In Switchcraft, you can take on the role of the witch at Pennell Hill, the world's top academy of witchcraft.
Along the way, you'll find unique characters, a gripping story, and even a little romance. The best part is that your choices in the game determine the outcome of the story, so you are in the driver's seat.
Download Switchcraft for free and unlock the magical mystery.
Bryan, Kaitlyn, I don't know about you. I want to know, but I have so much respect for people that thread their eyebrows. I've gotten it done once and a tear legit fell out. No lie.
No,
so it hurts that much?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I like to be a dolphin, so I like get laser and everything. Like I don't, and it doesn't tickle.
It does what?
I just got the dolphin reference like 5 seconds later. It took a little time to register.
You get the dolphin reference. I think about Tia talking about she wants to have a little dance. Her vagina.
I thought the first thing I thought was Alexis Waters and the dolphin or the
Like-
shark or whatever the case was. That's the immediate thought.
Well, the important thing is we got there, and now we all understand.
we got there. We understand
There you
it.
go.
So you just said something profound, right? You said whatever makes you feel good. Basically, talking about men and being metrosexual. What do you say to the people that always continually come at you for shit?
I take, okay, it depends what time of the month it is, because if I'm hormonal, I'm going to let it really get to me. And if I'm not,
Fair.
and I actually find it so comical because it always will stem from their own insecurities. So, or they're just dumb, or they're just straight up dumb. So people come at me all the time for my appearance, and I get it. That's an easy target to, if a woman looks different than she did 7 years ago on your television screen, you're going to call it out. I don't know why, but women always need to comment on other women's looks. And it's really tough when you're being compared to Tayshia and Michelle, these like two tall supermodels. And I'm like over here feeling like a toe. And then then they comment on your looks. And it's like, you have to really be, you know, strong in who you are and confident to get through that, because that would be very easy for me to be like, I am ugly next to them, or like I do look old and I am much older than them. But I just, you know, again, depending on the time of the month, I just sometimes don't care.
Oh, that's the answer, depending on the time of the month. How do you feel about, 'cause Jonah Hill just put out a statement saying, please don't speak to my body. He was very respectful with it, just telling people to shut the hell up, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if we were to interview every human on this earth right now, they're going to say, bro, just, you know, treat people with respect, right? But then for whatever reason, a portion of those same people are the ones that talk the most shit. And you just said something that Bryan and I always talk about. It seems like it's women coming after women. You don't see a man be like, you don't look like you did 7 years ago. A man's gonna be like, damn, you look good, or you don't look good. It's simple as that for a man.
Or if they feel that way, they just wouldn't say it.
Yeah, like what is that? And from a woman's perspective, because Bryan and I, this conversation comes up so often. What is that from a woman's perspective?
I don't know. I think it might be like also what society has done to us to feel pitted against each other for a long time. And I feel like that's kind of like they might have been raised that way. Their mom might have taught them that. It's like, I don't know. It's always just been, you know what? I saw something really cool is a girl was commenting back. She made a video back to someone had said, all you're obsessed with is yourself. And she did the greatest like 1 minute video saying like, what if I was like, why are we in a world where like loving yourself is so like frowned upon? And she goes, and if I was obsessed with myself, like that would have saved my parents a lot of money for me going to rehab from being so insecure and having an eating disorder. And like, I wish I was obsessed with myself and that would make this a lot easier. And she got into like this really deep minute video of it. And I was like, that's so true. Who cares if you're obsessed with yourself? Like,
it's like, are you going to be obsessed about me? I mean, apparently you are, but like, are you really like in the real world going to be obsessed about me? No. So like, why not show myself self-love, right?
It is. That really stood out to me because I'm like, yeah, you're allowed to be obsessed with yourself. Like, why not feel yourself and think you look good and post when you do feel good? And I understand that people were annoyed at me the other day because Ramen, come here. Oh, that's Pino. You never bark. I kind of get why people came after me in my post because I did have like a filter on and so much glam and my like, you know, and all these filters that are on Instagram, it's like enhancing every part of your face. And I get that that's annoying because to see that constantly on your feed, you're like, I just want some real shit. But I show up on social media real all the time.
Yeah.
And so that one time I'm like, I like to throw in a filter every now and again, or I was like, oh, this is some good glam, post it. Like, I hate when people are like, oh my God, why are you doing this to the younger generation? I'm like, if you follow me, you know that I show up real and authentic and like vulnerable on my social media pages all the time. Don't come at me for one post.
Now, that's the funny part about it, right? You could do 100 things good, or you could do 99 things good, but that one thing that you do, that's all they remember, you know, it's
all
ridiculous.
The time. And it's kind of like us too. Like, it'll be like, there's like 300 nice comments. And like, then I just saw the, you know,
and those are the ones we talk
The
about.
one
like,
that bothers you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question. Where does Jason play into all this? Like do you talk to Jason about situations like that where, you know, trolls or people are calling you out on the internet? Like, how much do you confide in Jason? How much do you guys talk about that? And how much does he help you get through that?
Yeah, we used to talk about it a lot more, but like it gets to a point where you're like, it's still happening. Like, what more can we say or do?
Go to cows.
But like he sees it. Like he'll look at the comments, or I'll show him, and he'll be like, people are so mean to you, because Jason's very lovable and the women love him, and he doesn't get a lot of you know, hate or trolls.
Well,
and
Ryan loves him too.
What?
Ryan from the show loved him too, the Night One guy.
Yeah, exactly. See, everybody loves Jason Tartick, and I get it. And so it's interesting for him, I think, to see just how nasty people can be. Like, even the trolls that he gets are trolling me. Like, in his DMs and everything. It's crazy. So I definitely confide in him for a lot of things in life because Jason's such a level-headed guy, and he just, I don't know, he's good at having empathy and understanding that it hurts my feelings. And he's also good at being like, but let's turn it around. Yeah, good perspective. And actually that's a good way to put it. He always has a good perspective.
I love that. I love how you said, you brought it up yourself. You said people probably came mad at me for this situation right here. And I like that because I talk about my book, Self-Love is Self-Compassion, right? Mm-hmm. You can forgive yourself and see, and or not even forgive, but like see something that like, oh, okay, I see that. No big deal, but I see that, right? So what do you say? I personally hadn't heard this term before yesterday about blackfishing. Like what, I never knew what that was. How do you, when someone says that, what are your thoughts on that part?
Yeah, I Googled that because people were accusing me of that on my page. And I was like, what does this mean? What am I being told? And when I Googled it, I was like, how do I handle this situation? Because I obviously want to always be listening. I always want to say, I can't relate. I can't see where you're coming from, but like, let me try and understand. So I was just Googling for like an hour yesterday about it and trying to understand more about it and seeing it like, is that what I was doing? And at the end of the day, no, of course it's not what I was trying to do. Right.
As a black man, I don't think you were doing that.
Okay. And that's maybe what I would have to, but then I don't want to put myself in a position or anyone else in the position to ask, because I think that's something that I've learned over the last 2 years is to figure things out for yourself and not rely on your black friends to tell you and inform you. And so I wanted to do the research myself and be like, am I doing this? And know of like deep down when I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, no, that's not what I'm doing. But now I'm glad I understand the term and how to approach it next time if this comes up.
Love that. And I was giving, for the audience listening via audio, I was giving you a small hand clap because, yeah, we ain't trying to answer every damn question. Come on now.
Right.
We get Google stuff about Canada ourselves as well. Like, exactly. and another example, right? But Kaitlyn, on to bigger and better things. You are like a super successful businesswoman, baby. Like super successful. You have several businesses going on, super successful podcast, about to go on tour again. Shout out to you, give me a cameo. I'm got you when you come to Austin.
Yes.
How do you balance all of this?
I don't. I am a mess of a human being over here.
Tell me you're a delegator though. You gotta.
Yeah, I have to
delegate.
I have to be. And I am so grateful and bow down to my team all the time because I just wouldn't be able to survive if I didn't have the team around me. Because it's a lot and it's all stuff I love doing. So it's hard for me to say no to things that I love when I probably should say no for my mental health, because I'm like a tour to me. I love connecting with the listeners. I feel like the Off the Vine Facebook group and like family genuinely feels like family. We talk about such deep things on the Facebook page. And I feel like when I see them in person and they're like, I blah, blah, blah. And we talked about this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm meeting you face to face. And it's in every different city. And it's just so cool to, feel like you can connect with all these people that you don't see every day, but who are listening to you every day. And at the end of that, it's like, it's so draining, but I can't say no because I love it so much. Same thing with, like starting a wine label or going to Canada. Okay, this is a good example. Going to Canada. And I was like, I haven't seen my family in 2 years. And the liquor stores there carry my wine. And I was just so grateful. And I was like, why don't we do like a meet and greet? And like, I somehow turn it into work all the time and need to like have more balance and say no to certain things. But it's just so hard when you love what you do.
That's amazing. Shout out
if
to
you if you had to give up one of those, podcast, being the host of The Bachelorette, or your wine label, which one would you stay with?
That is a good clickbait question.
Did you just do a Bryan, did you just do a fuck, marry, kill for her businesses and what she does?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, I guess. Let's do that. Fuck, marry, kill.
Yes.
Wine, Bachelorette host, or podcast.
I mean, I'll marry Bachelorette host because I just live for that. I would kill off. No.
You have to. You got.
You're a wino, aren't you? You gotta drink
Yeah,
your
but
wine.
my podcast is like my pride and joy.
That's your baby. That's your baby.
So basically, you're going to be polygamy and be married to both of them.
Thank you. I needed
He's
to
like,
find
"Thank
a
you."
loophole. I needed to find a loophole there. I don't know how to answer that question. Oh, that was tough. And I'm still not going to.
No, that's too crazy.
Good question though.
What do you have for people out there that are like, man, she gets shitted on, man, she has so many businesses, man, she has such a great fiance, man, she's like legit living her dreams. You wanted to dance, be on Dancing with the Stars, you're doing that. You wanted to host with your Fisher Price, going up to family members, you're doing that. Like,
and also
what do people? Yeah, I'm sorry, Bryan.
To add on to what you're saying, I mean, Kaitlyn, you've been open about struggling with anxiety in the past as well. So it's like dealing with the anxiety, overcoming that, and still being as successful as you are. Like, what advice do you have for people out there?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I'm the biggest believer in karma. Karma has no deadline, and it's just like, be a good person and good things will happen to you. I'm such a believer in that. I also am like a crazy manifester where if it's like certain moons, I will write down my goals for the year. I will like charge my crystals. I will put the piece of paper outside. I will sit there and like put myself, like immerse myself in what I think that would feel like. I did that with Dancing with the Stars. I have a picture of a mirror ball in my mirror because I used to look at it all the time. And just like, I really put myself in those situations and believe that I can do them. And that's my advice. I mean, that's so cheesy, but like believing in the fact that you can do these things, if you have the drive and the passion and manifesting and being a good human, you can do truly anything.
Has Jason picked up on those rituals as well?
He literally thought I was a crazy person when he first met me because I was like, Jason, I talked to the moon and that's how I met you. And he was like, what the?
He was like, I'm gonna walk back out the door.
Check, please.
Now he's seen things come true and come to life. And he's like, you are like, he calls me, what does he call me? A witch. He calls me a witch because he's like, you just like have some sort of magical powers that you make things that you dream of come true. And I was like, that's a great quality. Even if you call me a witch.
That's a great quality. I like it. You know, you're not crazy. 83% of what we write down every day comes to fruition.
It's a fact.
It is. It's crazy. Like
too. Yeah.
Once you write it down, and then here's the key part that people for whatever reason don't pay attention to. Write it down and go do it.
Yeah.
Massive
write it down and work
action,
towards it.
as
Yes.
Tony Robbins likes to say. You got to take massive action.
Yes. Also, side note for all the listeners out there, this is a F-boy pro tip for you out there. If you messing with an F-boy, listen. I saw this on TikTok.
So this is advice for women. How to deal with F-boys?
Not how to deal with, but just a sign. If a dude always texts you at 11:11 or 4:44 p.m., it's a sign because he's messing with you. He knows that you like manifestation and things of that nature. Yes.
Ooh, that's really good advice because if that was me, I'd be like,
he always messages me at 11:11, right?
There you go, your gullible self.
Advice. That's good.
It's crazy out there, but that's what it is. So I have to ask you, from your first night, if you can't answer it, I completely understand. Or Bryan and I, we could just do it. Who are your top 4, Kaitlyn, so far?
Ooh, yeah, this is hard because I know.
Yeah, because you know.
But I'll go from like
just based on the first night, maybe. Like,
okay, based on the first night, who I really liked, and who I saw Michelle with was probably. Let me just throw out some names for me. I want to like.
All right, we got Clayton. Well, we got Joe from Minnesota. We have Nate, first impression Rose. We had Romeo. He spoke like different languages. He's a mathematician, Harvard guy.
Wait, is the Romeo the young looking dude? The 26-year-old?
No, that's
who got like good skincare?
That's Brandon J. Yeah, he had like a little Derek Jeter going on.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute. Okay, I will say I obviously can see her with Nate because every girl that gives the first impression rose, you're like, well, I could see them together. Yeah. And so I thought they were really sweet. I really like her connection with Romeo, like you said. I think Michelle, was a little intimidated or afraid of Romeo. And I think she's just getting in her head because I think they would be great together.
Jamie was another one. Jamie,
Yes.
he had a little swag in the beginning. They hit it off. They had a little connection in their first meeting.
I took notes about Jamie. Jamie had a great intro. He said, "You smile with your spirit."
Oh yeah, that's cute.
He said that, and I wrote it down. I was like, "Bruh, that's it right there, bruh." I like when he said that. Shout out to you, Jamie. I like that, man.
Okay, yeah, I like Jamie, and then I also really like her connection with Kaitlyn.
There you go. What about you, Bryan? Who are your top 4 so far?
Let's see. Based on this list, I'll give. Obviously Nate, first impression, fellow first impression guy here. I'll give Joe just because of the Minnesota connection. I think she needs to flush that relationship out and see where that goes. I'll go with Jamie, and I'll give the young guy a shot, Brandon J.
Brandon ain't getting it, bro. No.
He won't get that final rose, that's for sure.
He
But
ain't getting the final rose.
maybe
Nothing
he'll make it
against
far.
him. Nothing against him individually. Nah. But yeah, it's not. Like, genuinely, nothing against him. Like, he could be a wonderful human being. We're pretty much in sync. I got Joe, Babatunde, aka Nate, Clayton. My 4th pick is still open. We still drafting.
That's how I feel too. If we're going on night 1,
Yeah.
that's how I feel.
Yeah, I got my first 3. I don't got my 4th yet.
Okay. But the 4th is always like an underdog.
Yeah. I did like the salad guy, but he just
The salad guy.
the guy that came out with theirs. He had the head of lettuce.
Oh, dinner table Rick.
Rick, yes.
Dinner
Yes.
table Rick, yeah. He was like a little creepy to me at first. Like once he
His head was just floating on a plate,
Yes,
and he was like, "Hello."
Yes, that is true. So once he came out from the table, it's like, okay, you're at least a little normal.
The dude from Houston. I'm representing my Texas guys. I like the dude from Houston. I forget his name. He barely had any airtime, but I just felt like he was confident. He gave me like that Idris Elba.
Was it PJ?
PJ Tucker?
No, it says PJ. I'm looking at the list. Thank you, producers, for providing some faces to the names.
It may be PJ, but
Mine pulled up.
he gives me Idris Elba vibes, and the women like a Idris Elba, like a debonair type guy.
Yeah, is he the one with the stash?
The fire truck, not the little puny fire truck, bro. I would have felt so embarrassed. Oh
Right,
my
he
God.
came in with the real fire.
The real fire
right?
truck, bro.
Okay.
I would have. Imagine that guy that came with the little puny fire truck. Oh, that's so embarrassing.
So funny. He
It's
was
a
so
setup.
bad.
That was a setup.
Oh yeah, hey, homie, if you listening, you got, bro. You
That'd be a
got.
great idea. Why don't you come in with a little fire truck?
Yeah, little fire truck, and then the next guy comes in with a big fire truck. Oh my God,
The
I felt so
one-upper.
bad for him. I was like, terrible. And he was like, if you watch it, I remember because I had pressed pause on it.
Kaitlyn, what do you think of Rodney, the apple of my eye guy?
Rodney, he's a good time. He's just such a good time. He's just a positive, happy, good time. I really like him.
Yeah, that means friend zone, bro. That's what Kaitlyn just told us. He got friend zone. You gotta read through the good guys versus the guys for Michelle, right?
Yeah, the guys that actually have a chance versus
Because there's a lot of good guys. There's a lot of good
That's
guys.
true. I think about myself as the Bachelorette, and there was groups that I was like really attracted to. There's groups where I was like, they're friends, and then there's a few that I was like, you guys are douchebags.
You guys are douche.
I love the categories that are placed in.
You're douche.
They
She
all
put
have their
a,
own little
You're
category.
going the douche pile.
she put some bass on that. The douche bags. Stay over there.
All right, before we let you go, Kaitlyn, we gotta know what's in store for your wedding. Is there anything you could share?
I mean, not really.
No updates whatsoever.
Well, okay, so it's been really challenging for 2 reasons. One, we don't know what the world is going to look like in a year, and we want to, get married. We want to get married next fall. So we know that, but we're like, what is the world going to look like? Are we going to be able to travel? Are people going to be able to cross the border from Canada? So it's hard to plan things like that because you've heard so many horror stories about weddings getting canceled and people, so that has slowed us down a little bit. Also, Jason and I just celebrated like the last 2 days for being in the same city. So we're like, we're just so busy that, and I hate that excuse because I had a friggin' 3.5 year engagement with my last one. And I was, you just feel like you're making excuses. But truly, we are just so busy that it's like we need to schedule a time. Like tonight, we have scheduled time to eat dinner and hang out together. It's in the calendar.
Listen, sometimes that's how you make it work, right?
I mean, Bryan, that's that story all too well. It's the same thing.
100%.
Yeah.
I know it all too well.
I love that.
Yeah.
Congrats on your 2 days of living together officially now. Super congrats.
Let's go for a third day.
You never know. No, he's leaving me again. He's going to New York it's his birthday on the 24th. And so I have a girlfriend coming into town the 22nd, 23rd. And then he's going to New York, I think. And then he's coming back on the day of his birthday. And I've got a special day planned for him.
Nice. Well, happy early birthday, homie.
Yes. Happy birthday, Jason.
So I have to know right quick before we let you go, who snores the loudest, you or Jason?
Do you know this? Because we literally just had this discussion this morning where I was like, we got to figure out your snoring. Like, I can't live like this.
You said, do you know? Your face was like, how do you know?
Have you ever recorded him while he's sleeping and snoring?
Yes.
Like just to show him the next day?
Yes, because he'll be like, yeah, right, let me hear it. And I'm like, show him. He's like, oh my gosh. Like, I get it. Yeah, it's some nights, it's not every night. So there's that. But some nights, last night he had a few drinks because his Bills lost.
Oof,
so that might have made it.
Yeah, they did. But my Cowboys, though, what's up?
Hey, looking good, man. They're looking good. Not gonna lie.
Kaitlyn, though, thank you so much for being on today. We loved having you on, and cannot continue to wait to watch you help out Michelle and find her love.
Yes.
Thank you. It's going to be a really, really, really fun season to watch. And thank you guys for having me.
Can't wait. Thanks so much. Mike, I absolutely loved Kaitlyn on the show today. I mean, she was so much fun. We laughed. We joked around about the first episode, which was an instant classic. I mean, what did you think of Kaitlyn's interview?
She's energetic, man. I really like Kaitlyn. I just like her spirit as a human being. I think that she owns the things that she does, whether she agrees with what she did or doesn't agree with what she did. I will say, I gave a bad comparison because she's not like Kanye, but that was the only thing I could think of that no matter what, people got something to say, Yeah. And so that's
maybe polarizing, like she's a
polarizing
figure.
To some people, she's polarizing, and I'm just like, man, leave that girl alone, let that girl live. But I loved having her. She was open, honest. That was kind of cool, bro. We played marry, F, kill with her with what she does. That was kind of cool. That just came up off.
She couldn't do it. She couldn't marry just one, right?
Hey, don't blame her. I don't blame her. In that situation, I feel her on that regard. The things that we're doing, you love all of these things. People, at home think that stuff just gets handed to us. But man, we work our butts off for this stuff, And so for her to go back home to Canada and have her wine in the stores, that's phenomenal.
And isn't that a misconception about, people think that you walk off this show and it's like you're automatically an influencer making 6 figures a year.
Yes.
And while that may be the case for some individuals, you know what I'm saying? For the majority, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like those people are going back to their regular lives. Like I'm in my brand new office. Shout out Beverly Hills Therapy Center. But see, hey. I'm in my profession, right? So a lot of people go back. It's not, all roses.
I still do financial advising. I still do financial advising. I saw somebody the other day talk about they were shitting on us for putting out books, and I'm like, bro, I didn't even get a deal for my book. I paid for my book myself. I wrote the book myself. You feel me? And so it's just ridiculous what some people say, but I just love Kaitlyn in the way that she owns it.
Yeah, she owns it, and she's super successful. Kudos to her, for working so hard, and building a team around her that helps her where she could delegate all those tasks. It is stressful, man. Like growing an empire like she is, that's really tough. So kudos to her for everything she's done.
Definitely. So I can't wait to see what happens next with her. And shout out to all the people within the nation that have turned a wonderful opportunity into a home run.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Kudos to those individuals, right? Kudos to your wife. Rachel is demolishing the game. Kudos to JoJo. Kudos to Kaitlyn. We need some more kudos for the homies, but it is what it is.
We're slowly Slowly gaining traction. We'll see.
Slowly.
We'll see. To all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode.
You know, we always love to hear your opinions, your stories, and your insight. So please don't forget to like, comment, follow, message us on social at Talking.BN, on Instagram at Bachelor Nation, on Twitter, and Bachelor Nation on Facebook. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast listening on the Odyssey app or wherever you're listening to right now. And baby, don't DM me no more. See you that subscribe. Love y'all.